I am Leah, busy wife, mom of 3, and business owner. And I love traveling and giving my feedback and opinions on things that I have done during my travels. So I hope you take something useful from these videos, and I'm always open to any questions and helping you plan your travels. Enjoy! So this is a review of the Carnival Cruise Line ship Elation out of Jacksonville, Florida. My niece wanted to go on a cruise for her graduation, and we need to look for something super affordable for every member of our party, which was my niece, nephew, sister, and mom, with time constraints between all of us. So we booked on an August sailing. First of all, we received about a 24-hour notice prior to departure day that due to an incoming hurricane, our cruise was going to depart a day early. But we made it work, and we booked it down to Jacksonville along with a ton of other passengers just in time. Now let's talk about Jack's Cruise Terminal first. It is nothing fancy, but easy to get in and not crowded. You do prepay for parking, which was $17 per day for my minivan. Make sure to already have your tags printed and on your luggage if you would like the crew to take your luggage to your room instead of carrying it on the ship. However, keep in mind, you may not receive your luggage for several hours, so if you plan to swim, pack your suitcase, like a small carry-on bag with your swimsuit and anything that you will need for the rest of the day. Our luggage was placed directly in our room, but typically they set it outside in the hallway. We knew that the ship was smaller and older, so we weren't expecting anything grand. Keep in mind, throughout this video, we paid approximately $50 per day per person. So again, we kept our expectations in check. An important tip, make sure that you download the Hub app for the Carnival Cruise Lines ahead of time. This will give you all the information regarding deck layouts, dining options and times, shows and entertainment times, and more. It can be used on the ship without the internet package. You can also communicate with each other through that, like a text message kind of thing built in through their app. You enter the atrium, which is pretty open. Ceilings are really high, but it is super tight. You must check into your muster station and watch a life jacket demonstration, but that was super easy and we were on our way really fast. The elevators were really slow and there was a ton of people crowded in them. On our way to our room, I did notice stains on the carpet. The carpet was pretty gross looking in a lot of spots. Some of the walls were kind of gross looking in some spots, looked like they could have been cleaned a little better. And things just weren't as visually cleaned as I had hoped, and it was very warm. Trying to cruise as cheaply as possible, we booked an inside stateroom cabin for 5 on deck 4. Guys, we made it work, but it was tight. There was a queen bed for 2 bunks that pulled down, and a cot that went right under the bunk with very little floor space to move around in. I had to crawl over my mom every time I wanted to go use the bathroom. So it was kind of like an obstacle course. The desk had some storage space. The TV did have more channels, including a couple movie channels compared to some of the other ships I've been on, especially Royal Caribbean is very limited in their TV channels. It did have 2 good-sized closets with plenty of hangers and a set of drawers and shelves by the door. The bathroom was small in size, and they had very little storage, just a tiny little glass strip that you might be able to put a couple toothbrushes in. And the shower actually had a curtain, which I felt every time the ship moved, like the curtain was attacking me. The beds were comfortable, and we always had warm water, so that was a plus. A couple of travel tips. Make sure to bring a small battery-powered light, as the cabins are super dark at night. There are limited outlets, so we had a small box that you could put a few chargers into. We prefer a small fan so that it doesn't get too stuffy. And while the showers do have body wash and shampoo, they do not provide conditioner. So I would definitely bring that. The bathrooms are not vented. So especially if you have an inside room, I encourage you to bring a small travel can of Lysol. If you get my drift, we are in a small room with no windows. I also bring usually a small pack of disinfectant wipes. A majority of people go directly to eat when they board, so let's talk about food options. Carnival is known for having Guy Fieri's Burger Bar on board their ships. Now, I am a big fan of Guy Fieri's burgers that I have visited in different locations, but this is not the same. You basically stand in line to be given a cheeseburger and fries and put toppings on from the bar that, in my opinion, looked like it had been there for a while. It was okay, but I wasn't super impressed. However, the biggest note I took away was the napkins. They were fabric, torn, stained, faded, just awful looking napkins that I can see being used by a car mechanic at home. This is the only place I did witness these napkins, and they were fine from everywhere else. There is a taco bar that later turns into a by purchase seafood only area. The buffet had a very little selection, but desserts were typically very good. There was tea, water, and several juices, coffee, and hot chocolate available as self-serve if you decide not to do any of the drink packages. The highlight is the self-serve ice cream station that also had frozen yogurt, which we made multiple trips to a day.
Yummy, yummy,
In the
yummy.
back of
I
the
got love
buffet,
in my
you could
tummy.
find pirate pizza and my personal go-to spot, the deli. They typically had longer lines as they were making fresh food with only one or two crew members working. We did not do any specialty dinings or anything you had to pay extra for, as again, we were on a budget, but we did see many many people at the coffee place and the candy shop aboard as well. Finally, you have the main dining option room that you can go to each night. We chose the 8:15 dinner time. The dining rooms were pretty, and you had the same seats every night. The menu does change every night and can be found on your Hub app ahead of time. Now, I am a simple eater, but I did try things because why not? It was already included. So if I didn't like something, I wasn't out any money and could get something else. Or if you do like something, you can order multiples of that item, which most people don't even know. My nephew often ordered 2 appetizers because they both looked good, and we, of course, had multiple desserts. The food was okay. I'm not a big foodie. I wasn't super impressed by anything, except for we all agreed that the Carnival chocolate lava cake was absolute yummiest item on the menu. While there is recommended dress attires for these dinners, you will see all kinds of people on Carnival, so don't let that scare you off if you're not in nice clothes. They will not kick you out. A big plus for dinner, though, was our waiter, Christian. He was so friendly. He joked around with us. He was very attentive, and each night he got at least 2 of us to dance with the staff members, which turned out to be a lot of fun. He made the dinner experience great, and that is the best part of our dining experience, I would say, in the main dining hall. Now on to drinks. Due to medical reasons, I don't drink, but my cruise mates did, and drinks averaged $16 without the drink package. But there are plenty of bars to get drinks from, and often waiters will come around and take orders as well. Carnival is a Pepsi ship. I am a Coke girl, so I did not get the soda package. It comes in cans instead of fountains like other ships do. FYI, the only place to get a soda late at night
Yar,
is
har,
Pizza Pirate.
har, har.
With whatever package you can get one drink every 15 minutes. This helps them cut down on the amount of people sharing their drink package. Okay, so let's go to the things you can do on board. I did not participate in everything on board, but a quick rundown of what I did do. Bingo. You must get there when the app says bingo sales, as they have longer lines than I anticipated. There are several different bingo packages to choose from $29 to over $100. The games are held in the show theater, and I felt like it moved very slow because the announcer would talk between every ball she pulled. There were 4 games played with 4 different winners of small cash prizes. None of us won. It wasn't for my attention span, so it was a one and done for me. We did do a couple of the trivia games, which were kind of fun if you are competitive with your own family, which I am. The Sail Away show and the other shows with dancers and singers were okay. I'm overly critical of the performers as a dance teacher. They were fine. Now, if the show says 18 plus suggested, but not enforced, be prepared. If you bring your children, some are 18 plus only, and they do card. I really enjoyed and laughed so much at the Love and Marriage game show, but I would not bring my younger children there. It was fairly naughty. So, again, be warned if you choose to bring your children to these things that are not 18 plus required. Um, the family friendly comedy shows were okay. I laughed a little bit, but I laughed a lot at the adult ones. I personally loved attending the art auctions and did make several purchases, but that is definitely more for specific people. The Glow dance party was held inside, which I believe is normally on the deck, but we were dealing with rainy conditions. But that was really fun with people singing and dancing. The onboard musicians were really good anywhere you saw them on the ship. I was really impressed by them. The cruise activities director was fantastic. She was really funny. She was really involved. She was really animated. So she made these activities really fun. There is a small arcade and there is a game room that you can pay for, but there wasn't a whole lot of games. And then there was also like an actual like pub game room with chess and other board games that was a cute little area. There was a pool and a hot tub, but I did not utilize them. They looked a little stained or dirty. It was just a little bit murky, or it was really, really crowded with people standing shoulder to shoulder. And there were so many teenagers in the hot tub, there was just no way of even getting in there. Now, Serenity on the ship is an 18 plus area, but I did not go in there since my niece was underage. The back of the ship had some water slides, but I noticed the way you entered these slides were from a different area where parents could not see if you were trying to supervise your child. This might be a tough one. It was further away from the main pool, so I felt if I had multiple kids there, I would have been torn on which way to go, and one of them would always have to wait. There is a club, which I did not go into, and a small casino, which I visited frequently. I really enjoy gambling, but a little tip for those who do enjoy gambling: if you accumulate so many points at the casino on your C-Pass card, you receive the drink package within the casino for free. And sometimes free gifts showed up, like a bottle of wine or steak dinners for those of us who played enough. I did not visit the spa, but did go through the locker room areas to the gym, which had a great view on the front of the ship and a good amount of machines. Another tip: you can utilize the showers in the locker rooms instead of only your stateroom. Overall, I enjoyed finding a spot with a view to read a book and just chill out. However, if there are rain or strong winds, the crew take all the chairs off the decks, so I had to sit inside at times. If you are a smoker, there is a decent sized, somewhat covered area on a top deck for you to do for all of your smoking, vaping, whatever it is, with a nice seating area. Now, let's talk about the excursions that we decided to book through Carnival. In Nassau, my niece and I purchased the Sun Cay Swim with the Pigs excursion. Upon disembarking the cruise, you will find the covered area with the number listed on your ticket that should be in your room the night before, if not as soon as you get on the ship. They will then direct you to a water shuttle, which takes you over to the areas to either feed the pigs or the beach area. The beach area says Sun Cay on your ticket, but is actually Pearl Island, which I'll discuss in another video. And depending on your time your ticket indicates, you could go there right away, or you could go to the beach first, be shipped over to the pigs, and then back. Once you get to Pig Island, a worker instructs you on how to feed the pigs and how to stop them if they are getting a little bit aggressive, and then gives you a barbecue skewer stick and a cup containing cut up chicken hot dogs and apples, or so they say. First of all, these are not small, cute little pigs like we had in our head. There are some really big ones out there, and you've got to watch your toes. They just roam and they come right up to you on the land and then the water to eat the food, and you can pet them. The water is stunning, but very rocky and kind of tricky to navigate through with those rocks. So I do recommend water shoes on this particular excursion. We learned that firsthand. Yes, the pigs do their business in the water. But if it's a number two, a crew member usually will go out there with like a pool net and scoops it out. We were there for about an hour swimming after we fed the pigs before the shuttle came back and took us over to the beach area for the remainder of our excursion time. They do provide lunch with this excursion, which is essentially a piece of chicken, a piece of fish, and some rice, which I found extremely spicy and it wasn't great. There are no other options. So, in knowing this from being there before, I put a couple just cereal things and stuff like that in my bag so we had something to eat. They did have a couple kinds of sodas for purchase, and of course, alcoholic beverages for purchase on the island as well. They have plenty of seating, and you walk around down some steps to get to the ocean entrance areas, which again, the water was stunning. I personally absolutely love the pig portion feeding of this excursion, but I will prefer Blue Lagoon to Pearl Island for the beaches. Make sure you have your Sea Pass card and your ID or passport just in case you need it. They will tell you this a million times and people still forget them. They will check them coming back, both of them actually coming back on the ship. It's always a good idea to carry some small bills just for things like drinks or little local vendors or shops all over that don't take your Sea Pass cards or credit cards. We also stopped at Princess Cay, which is only for Carnival and Princess cruise lines. You do have to take a water shuttle from the cruise ship to the island. They ran frequently in both directions, and that wasn't an issue at all. Again, make sure you have your Sea Pass card and cash if you would like to shop at the local vendors. A lot of that is more homemade stuff, but they only take exact cash. There are 2 gift shops on the island that did accept my C card, however, or credit card. Here's a tip. A majority of people turn left getting off of the shuttle on Princess Cay as opposed to right. I don't quite know why, but it is less crowded on the right side. However, it is further from the food pavilion on the island, so I never ventured that far to go over there. The water was really nice and there were plenty of chairs to lounge in. The one thing I was uncomfortable with was very loud and very inappropriate music being played there. I assumed we would hear like tropical music being in the Bahamas, but that was not the case. The host and the DJ who came from the cruise ship was really playing songs I wouldn't be comfortable with my young children around. Again, this is a lot of preference, but if you're trying to relax in the ocean or at the beach and then you have this loud music that isn't your preference playing, it gets a little uncomfortable and not as relaxing as I would have liked. Plus, this host was essentially forcing people to participate in tug of war and volleyball or other activities he had going on. And you could tell that made people uncomfortable. My niece and I rented a double kayak, hoping to go deeper into the beautiful clear water and maybe see some marine life. While I know you cannot predict that, we could see all the way down to the bottom, but we never saw anything. So we just sat in our kayak for close to an hour. So I personally wouldn't pay to do that again because as far out as we were allowed to go, there was people out there as well swimming. So I wouldn't do that again and spend that kind of money. So for this cruise in particular, I would give it a 5 out of 10. The price was definitely affordable, but I personally wouldn't want to travel on this ship again. Any vacation is better than no vacation, however. I hope you enjoyed this video and took away something helpful. Feel free to comment in the section below, and if you have any questions, I would be happy to answer them. If you are ready for more vacation ideas and getaways, please subscribe as more will be rolling out quickly. Happy vacationing!